What's good, family? Welcome back to the Green Room, the place where you grow, you heal, and level up without pretending you got it all together. I'm your host, Chris, and this is your first time tapping in. Just know this is a judgment-free zone. We talk about real life, real pressure, and real purpose. Now, today's topic is one that hits home for a lot of people, but especially for this generation and myself included. Because somewhere along the way, we start treating anxiety like it's a weakness, like it means you can't handle life, like it means you're not built to do what you're facing. But I want to flip that narrative today because anxiety isn't always weakness. A lot of times, anxiety is pressure. Pressure from either expectations, pressures from comparison, pressure from trying to hold everything together while still being strong and thinking you got it all together in front of everyone else. So, today we're talking about that and what anxiety really is. Why so many of us are carrying it, and how do we move forward without letting pressure turn into paralysis? Now, let's get into it. Now, let me be honest for a second. Most people who are anxious, they're not lazy, they're not unmotivated, and they're not sitting around doing nothing. They're usually the ones who care the most. You care about your future, you care about not letting people down, you care about doing things the right way. You care about providing, succeeding, improving, and surviving. So your mind is constantly running scenarios. And you start asking yourself, what if I mess up? What if this doesn't work? What if I fall behind? What if I disappoint somebody? But let me tell you something. That's not weakness. That's pressure. And pressure builds when responsibility meets uncertainty. When you don't fully control the outcome, but you still feel responsible for the results. Think about athletes before a big game. Think about students before a final. Think about parents trying to make sure their family is good. That tight feeling in your chest, that racing mind at night, that's your brain saying, yo, this matters. But somewhere along the line, we start shaming people for feeling the weight of what matters. We tell people, just relax, stop overthinking, be stronger. But nobody tells you how to carry pressure in a healthy way. They just tell you to stop feeling it. So let's talk about why anxiety is so common right now. Because it's not just personal, it's environmental. We are the most connected generation ever. But also, we are the most compared generation ever. Every day you wake up and see people your age buying houses, starting businesses, getting married, traveling the world, making money online. And even when you're proud of them, there's still that quiet voice that says, am I behind? And then also add in the student loans, the high rent, the unstable job markets, the pressure to have a purpose, the pressure to always be happy, the pressure to be healed, and the pressure to be productive. To be honest, y'all, that's a lot for a nervous system to carry. So when you feel anxious, it's not because you're broken. It might be because you're trying to survive in a world that never slows down and never stops demanding and never lets you rest without guilt. And then the craziest part, we start comparing our behind the scenes to everyone's highlight reel. And that will mess with your mind every single time. You can bet on that. Now, as always, let me bring my faith folks in here. And even if you're not a big church person, just stay with me here. Some of the strongest people in the Bible dealt with anxiety level pressure. For example, David, running from people trying to kill him. Elijah, so overwhelmed he literally asked God to take his life. Moses, straight up told God, I can't do this. Jesus himself, before the crucifixion, he was under so much stress that the Bible says he was sweating blood. That tells me something powerful. Pressure doesn't mean you lack faith. Pressure means you're human in the middle of something heavy. And faith doesn't remove pressure. It gives you somewhere to put it. Instead of carrying it alone, you get to say, God, I don't know how this is going to work out, but I trust you with the part I can't control. And that does not mean the situation disappears, but it keeps the situation from destroying you from the inside out. So, of course, we're going to get practical here because motivation is cool, but we need tools too. Here are 3 things that actually help when you're under pressure. 1. Name what you're actually afraid of. Instead of just saying, I'm anxious, ask yourself, what am I scared will happen? Is it failing, losing stability, letting someone down, not becoming who you thought you'd be? Once you name it, you can start addressing it instead of just drowning in it. 2. Stop carrying everything alone. Pressure gets heavier when it stays silent. Talk to someone, a friend, a mentor, a therapist, your spouse, your pastor. You don't need a whole audience. You just need one safe place to unload. Strong people ask for support. Weak systems force people to struggle in silence. 3. Separate your worth from your output. And this is a real big one I need y'all to understand. You are not valuable because of your productivity. You are not valuable because of your income. You are not valuable because of your progress speed. You have worth, period. And when you stop tying your identity to your performance, pressure loses so much of its power over you. You will strive, you still grow, but you don't self-destruct when things take longer than expected. So, I'm going to leave you with this. Pressure is not the enemy. Unmanaged pressure is. Pressure can build character. Pressure can sharpen focus. Pressure can push you into growth you never would have chosen on your own. But only if you stop treating it like a personal failure and start treating it like a signal that you care, a signal that you're in transition, a signal that something important is happening in your life. So the next time anxiety shows up, instead of saying, what's wrong with me? Try asking, what am I carrying right now? And who can help me carry it? Because anxiety doesn't mean you're weak. A lot of times it means you're under pressure. And pressure, when handled right, doesn't break you. It builds you. So if this episode spoke to you, make sure you share it with somebody who's been feeling overwhelmed lately. And as always, thank you for stepping into the green room with me, where growth is real, healing is honest, and purpose is personal. I'm Chris, your host, and I'll catch you next week. Peace.